Life can feel heavy sometimes. Our hearts can carry unseen burdens. King David knew this feeling well. He was a man of great faith, yet he also faced deep sorrows. Psalm 39 comes from such a time. It is a song from a soul in distress. He wrestled with his thoughts and God. This psalm is honest. It speaks to us today. David was not afraid to show his hurt. He poured out his heart to God. He questioned the meaning of his struggles. This psalm is like a window. We see into a human heart, a heart that loves God dearly, but a heart that is also aching. It teaches us something important. It is okay to bring our pain to God. He understands our deepest sorrows. The world around David was challenging. Wickedness seemed to prosper sometimes. He wanted to understand God's ways. Why do good people suffer? Why does life feel so short? These are questions we still ask. David's words echo our own struggles. He shows us how to bring them to God. Psalm 39 is a journey. Today is May 26, 2025, and these ancient words still guide us. David made a decision at first. He said, "I will watch my ways." He wanted to keep from sinning with his tongue. He planned to be silent, especially when wicked people were near. He would put a muzzle on his mouth. This was a strong resolution. He knew words could cause trouble. He wanted to honor God even in his pain. This silence was not easy. Imagine holding back strong feelings like a dam holding back a river. David felt the pressure building inside. He was in deep anguish, yet he tried to stay quiet. He did not want to give his enemies a reason to mock God or his faith. This self-control is hard. It takes great strength. David was determined to try his best. Sometimes we too choose silence. We fear saying the wrong thing. We worry about being misunderstood, or perhaps our pain is too deep for words. David's choice shows a desire for wisdom. He wanted to guard his heart and lips. David's silence did not bring him peace. Instead, his anguish grew worse. He said his sorrow was stirred up. It was like a fire shut up in his bones. The more he tried to suppress it, the hotter it burned. He was quiet, yes, but inside a storm was raging. His heart grew hot within him. The effort of holding back was immense. It consumed his thoughts and his energy. This is a very human experience. We try to be strong. We try to keep our troubles to ourselves. But unresolved pain often festers. It grows in the quiet darkness. David found that his silence was not a solution. It was a pressure cooker. The heat of his meditations intensified. He could no longer contain the burning. He had to speak. The fire within him demanded release. The psalmist finally broke his silence. He spoke with his tongue. The words burst forth, not in anger against God, but in a desperate plea for understanding. The pain had become too great to bear alone. This moment shows us something vital. When David finally spoke, his first words were a prayer. Lord, make me to know my end. He wanted to understand his own life. And what's the measure of my days? He was asking God to show him how fleeting his time on earth truly was. This was not a morbid thought. It was a deep spiritual realization. He wanted to see life from God's perspective. He wanted to grasp its true length. This cry reveals a profound shift. David was confronting his own mortality. He asked God, let me know how fleeting I am. He realized his life was not endless. This is a truth we often avoid. We live as if we have all the time in the world. But David faced it head-on. He saw his days as a mere handbreadth, so short, so very fragile. This understanding changes everything. It reorders our priorities. Life is indeed short. Like a fleeting shadow, David said. We are like a breath. Here for a moment, then gone. David looked at the world around him. He saw people busy and anxious. Surely every man walks about like a shadow, he observed. People hurry and scurry. They accumulate wealth and possessions. Yet, he noted, surely they busy themselves in vain. They heap up riches, but they do not know who will gather them. This is a sobering thought. So much effort for things that do not last. He saw the human tendency to chase meaningless endeavors. We pour our energy into temporary things. We seek security in what can be lost. We build empires of sand. David recognized this as a kind of futility, like chasing whispers in the wind. You can hear them, you can almost grasp them, but they slip through your fingers. They offer no real substance, no lasting satisfaction. This is not to say that work is bad or that providing for our families is wrong, but David speaks of the ultimate meaning. After reflecting on life's brevity, David asks a pivotal question, "And now, Lord, what do I wait for?" He has seen the fleeting nature of life. He has seen the emptiness of worldly pursuits. So where does he turn? His answer is profound and simple. My hope is in you. This is the turning point of the psalm. It is the anchor for his troubled soul. His hope is not in circumstances, not in himself, but in God alone. This declaration is a powerful statement of faith. In a world full of uncertainty, David found his certainty. In a life that felt like a breath, he found something eternal. His hope was not a wishful thought. It was a confident expectation placed firmly in the character of God. God is faithful, God is loving, God is sovereign. This became David's firm foundation, his true north in a confusing world. Placing our hope in God changes our perspective. It does not mean challenges disappear. David was still suffering, but his focus shifted. Having anchored his hope in God, David then makes a plea. "Deliver me from all my transgressions," he prays. He recognized his own failings. He knew that his suffering might be connected to his sin. Or perhaps it was simply the brokenness of the world. Regardless, he turned to God for rescue. He did not try to justify himself. He humbly asked for deliverance. He sought God's mercy. He also prayed, "Do not make me the reproach of the foolish." David was concerned about God's reputation. He did not want his suffering to cause others to mock God or to dismiss the path of faith. This shows a heart that cared deeply, not just for his own relief, but for God's honor. He understood that his life was a testimony. Even in his pain, he wanted it to point to God. This is a mark of true devotion. David's plea is honest and direct. He laid his needs before God. He asked for intervention. He was not demanding. He was appealing to God's character, his compassion, his power to save. This is how we should approach God in prayer, with humility and trust, knowing he's able to help. David then reflects on divine discipline. He says, "When you rebuke and chasten man for iniquity, you consume his beauty like a moth." This is a strong image. It suggests that God's correction can be painful. It can feel like something precious is being eaten away. David understood that suffering could be a form of God's discipline, a way to bring his children back to the right path, a way to refine their character. This is a difficult concept for many. We often associate discipline with punishment. But God's discipline is rooted in love, like a father who corrects a child he loves. It is not meant to destroy us. It is meant to restore us, to teach us, to help us grow. David acknowledged this aspect of God's work. He knew that God was holy and that sin has consequences. He accepted God's hand in his life. Understanding suffering as potential discipline requires humility. It requires us to examine our hearts. Are there areas in our lives that displease God? David continues his prayer with a profound statement. "Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry." He then adds, "For I am a stranger with you, a sojourner, as all my fathers were." This is a key insight. David saw himself as a temporary resident on earth, not a permanent owner, but a traveler passing through. This world was not his ultimate home. His citizenship was elsewhere. This idea of being a sojourner changes how we view life. If this world is not our final destination, then its troubles are also temporary. Its attractions lose some of their power. We hold things more loosely. We invest more in what is eternal. David understood this. He knew his time here was limited, like his ancestors before him. This perspective brought a sense of detachment from worldly struggles and a longing for his true home. Being a stranger and a sojourner does not mean we disengage from life, but it redefines our engagement. We live in this world, but we are not of this world. Our values are shaped by our heavenly destination. Our priorities reflect our pilgrim status. We are ambassadors for another kingdom. As Psalm 39 draws to a close, David makes one final plea. Remove your gaze from me that I may regain strength before I go away and am no more. This might sound like he wants God to leave him alone, but it is more likely a cry for a little respite, a moment to catch his breath, to find some joy and strength before his life ends. It is a very human request, a longing for a gentle end to a hard journey. This concluding prayer is filled with a quiet hope. Despite the pain and confusion, David still turns to God. He still believes God can provide strength. He still trusts in God's presence. Even as he acknowledges his own mortality, the fleeting nature of life is starkly present. Before I go away and am no more. Yet, this is not a cry of utter despair. It is a plea from a heart that, through it all, has found its hope in God. Life is indeed transient. Our days are numbered. We will all face that final moment. David's psalm does not shy away from this truth, but it also points us to the source of enduring solace, our faith in a God who is eternal, a God who hears our cries.